One of the advantages of being a fashion designer or a DIY enthusiast is that you get to make very trendy designs for yourself, wearing it with pride and honor, even when it has not really gotten to a whole lot of people. This is a top I like so much, and it took me not too long to make. Can see how happy and how snatched my waist is. I am so happy to have you here today, and I will be sharing tips with you on how to make this dress. You are welcome to Soul Junkies, a place for fashion DIY. And on today's tutorial, we're making this beautiful, lovely bubu top. And what I used here is I used 2.5 yards of fabric, 2.5 yards of crepe fabric, of satin fabric, whichever one you can lay your hands on. As you can see, mine wasn't too big, but if you want something very big, you can use 3 yards, 3.5 for just the top. So what you do is you fold that your fabric into 4, fold it into 4, and just like you're seeing me do in this video, please just fold into 4. If you are using 3 yards, if you are using 4 yards, if you are using 2.5, if you are using 2 yards, just know that 2 yards will be less fuller. I'm quite a slim person, and 2.5 yards, you could actually see what 2.5 yards look like on me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm trying to get the measurement. I just measured out what we have. I marked out 2 inches on the shoulder slant, then I'm marking out the 3 inches for the neck width. So these 3 inches will actually serve as a guide for my slant on the shoulder. That's just what it is, but it is not my actual neckline for this top. So that's what that neckline was, just for that measurement. So the actual neckline I used was 5 inches by 3 inches depth, and the back and front I used the same neckline width, because we want to push it to one side when we can. So for this round sleeve, I would have preferred it if it was a bit freer, but I used 6 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So you can make it a bit bigger, say 8 inches if you prefer that, because it was a bit tight on me. So the next thing is I'm marking out my hip measurement plus 4 inches. Hip measurement plus 4 inches. It's a free sized bubu. For some people, you may not even need to mark out your hip measurements plus all those inches. You can just use the entire thing. For me, I felt it would be too big, so I just used my hip measurement plus about 4 inches. Once I use ½ inch to just sew down, and that will be all. That's exactly what I took down, and then I created a curve on the armhole, and then I'm done. So the next thing is I'm marking out the length. So I just wanted to know where my shoulder measurement is on the shoulder line, and then I just mark out the full length of the top. I marked out the full length of the top. So the length I used was 56 inches. So you can use a lesser length if you want, or a longer length if you're taller. You can use the full length if you're tired. So I'm done with the markings, and I'm just cutting out. So this part that I cut out is what I'm going to use for the waist snatching. That's the rope that will be on the inside of the bubu top. So just cut out. Please, if you haven't subscribed and you just bump into our video on YouTube, please subscribe. So just cut out your markings, and then you set it aside. You set that aside. So this is what we have. You're almost done. So the next thing I want to show you is I'm measuring shoulder to the waistline plus ½ inch, shoulder to the waistline plus the ½ inch. That's where we would be sewing our rope for waist snatching, the rope that will be inside. So the next thing I'm going to mark is where the drawstring is going to start and is going to end. It's going to start on the waistline and it's going to end 10 inches away from the waistline. I hope you got that. From the waistline to where I measured is 10 inches. So there I'm marking. The next marking I have is your nipple to nipple point, which is your bust span plus 1 inch. Your bust span plus 1 inch. And you're just seeing me, I'm just joining all the points together. So it is at this point we're going to create our curve. I just put my curve rule at the hem and trace it out, mark it out to that 10 inches point. 10 inches point. So that's what I did. If you don't have a curve rule, you can use your free hand to just draw a simple curve. So I'm going to set the inner one aside and I'm just going to open it so that the curve will be easier to come out. But please, the first thing you have to do before drawing out this curve is to decide the side you want your opening to be, if it's on your left hand side or your right hand side. Once you decide that, just use your free hand to do your curve like you have just seen me do, and then cut it out, and that's that. So for this curved line, you can use bias because it will run into the hem at the back. So you can use bias to bias it, but what I did was to weave it. I just did an inner weaving for it and then I mashed it down, which is what I'm going to show you so that you don't take so much fabric. See what I'm showing you, that 10 inches point, this is when you do the drawstring, this is what you have. So we are done with the cutting. So we're going to bring the back and the front together. We're going to put them together and pin them on the shoulder line. We're going to pin them on the shoulder line. So right now, the difference between the back and the front is the slit in front, which makes a whole lot of difference. So you're just going to pin down the front and back together at the shoulder line, and then you are going to sew. You are going to hem the sleeve, then you are just going to sew the side down, weave them, and then we'll go over to the next step. So please guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and if you've watched this far as an old subscriber, please give us a like. Every time we see a like, it makes us so happy. It makes us feel like yes, we are doing what we should be doing. So while the sewing machine, I've weaved the shoulders, joined the shoulders, and folded the hem of the sleeve. I'm just joining them together. Like so. Please, oh, once you finish sewing, always weave your work, because the way this dress is, if your dress is not actually weaved, it will show it will show in your styling. So please weave your dress. If you can get a matching clothes, fine. So now this is what I wanted to show you. I have weaved that cuffed part. See the way I'm just sewing it down. You see, it's just a little fold. You just hem it with about 1/4 of an inch, and that will be all for that. So this dress, this top, like I told you, I keep calling it a dress. It's not a dress, it's a top, bubu top, drawstring bubu top. This top is easy and is very straight to the point. It is beginner friendly. So once you are done with the hem of the top, you also sew the neckline, either using a facing or a bias, and then the next thing would be to create that drawstring a casing, and that is what we did. Just measure 10 inches by 2 inches, sew and flip, then you place on the line we earlier marked, sew the two sides and then the middle side, which automatically creates the casing for you. Then what I'm doing is I'm just pressing my work. You just press it, you press it, you press it. Once you are sewing, once you are done with the drawstring, just pass your tiny rope through the drawstring casing, and that will be all for that is all for this talk. We have a lot of fashion DIYs, we have a lot of DIY boo-boos, we have ashoke dresses, ashoke transformer palazzo, we have a lot of dresses, we had a lot of DIY on our channel. Please do endeavor to check them out. Let us hear your thoughts. If you have any confusion in any part of the sewing, don't hesitate to ask us. We'll be here to answer all of your complaints. See what I just did? And that is all. So you just take your rope, your other waist snatching rope, you just pin it and also sew. Like from the beginning when we're cutting the cloth, we already put that markings there. So this is very, very beautiful. Please watch our other videos. You will definitely find something you love on our channel. So dear soulmate, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and if you haven't liked yet, please give us a like. You would agree with me that this has been a very wonderful and an interesting tutorial. We have so many other interesting tutorials that you would like. Please click on the link up ahead to watch more of our tutorial. Let us hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.